Hello, my name is Elora Skelton, Miss Skelton for your students, and I just wanted to introduce myself formally as the IB History of the Americas teacher. And so to explain a little bit more about this class, the way that it is designed is incredibly common amongst IB History of the America courses across the nation. I've talked to numerous different trainers as well as current teachers, and overwhelmingly the consensus has been that the best way to conduct this course is to give your student the most opportunities to get the maximum credit. So ultimately, the goal here is not only for them to embody the IB ideals, that learner profile that your student has been working actively towards, thinking about being caring, thinking about being an active inquirer, all of these aspects, these are completely compatible with AP United States history. And so the idea that we are working towards having AP United States history as their year one isn't to neglect their depth of content, because they most certainly will get it. In fact, most schools across the IB History of the Americas board, when they do it, they have AP United States history as year one, and they go into depth on their three subjects. Now, for us, we are very conveniently I don't want to say overindulgent, but we do definitely have a stronger sense here at Centennial of the topics that we chose. I chose them very intentionally. Rights and protest is something that I personally believe is a imperative part of a child's United States history course. And so their first year, they will actually get a very in-depth analysis of the civil rights movement in the United States. So, this class is going to have a couple of things different from AP United States history. I'm aware your student is mixed in with AP United States history, and that's due to the nature of the course. You have to have multiple voices. Part of IB's curriculum is about perspectives, and unfortunately it is very, very difficult to have adequate perspectives in a history course with a small number of students. Therefore, the best preparation I can give your child is to have them in a bigger class with differentiation, which is solid pedagogy. Within any educational field, every student is different, and in this case, it's two different classes in one. It's very manageable. So what your student will do that's a little bit differently, they have their own Socratic seminar group. They have their own specific time with me tailored to learning skills that are very exclusively IB, such as historiography. They've already started with that with Howard Zinn. That's their primary go-to source, and it will be completely fine for them to utilize that on their external assessments. Now, when it comes to their internal assessment, there's only one, and it is going to be a research paper. And so for the most obvious reason being they're not prepared for it yet. They need to build up research-based skills before they can start it. And so they don't start that internal assessment for me until semester 2, in which case they're working on different material than AP United States history students will be towards the end. They won't have the same final project towards the end. And then in terms of ongoing differentiation, there's a podcast analysis that they will do every 6 weeks, which perfectly coincides with the IB themes that they're utilizing: independence movements, industrialization, and then finally political developments from 1945 onwards. And so those come every 6 weeks, and they are going to have an in-depth historian who's going to actually be the person that they listen to, and they are going to write an interpretation of that. It's not going to be a lot of work. It is actually going to be quite fun. I listen to these podcasts for fun, and so they're going to enjoy them just like I do. That's why they chose to do IB, is they're curious kids. So, and I love getting to teach them. They're phenomenal. You have some great kids. And so the idea is that they don't have an excessive amount of work, but that they are still getting the depth of content. Next year, in year 2, they are going to compare what they've already done in AP United States history, and they are going to compare it to what they will be looking at with the Americas. So we are going to have specific case studies, and those can be found on skeltonapushistory.org, and then you click on IB HOTA as the tab. And that is where I have put all the History of the Americas stuff. As it happens, I pay for my AP US History domain, so I prefer to not have two, just for financial reasons. It's just easier to keep it with one. So if you have any other questions, because I know it's probably new to all of us to try and navigate these new kinds of methods of teaching, and so it's a lot of fun. But if you have any questions, maybe you need some clarification on anything, please do not hesitate to email me at skeltone@fultonschools.org. Or alternatively, you may set up a parent-teacher conference with me. I love to get to talk and get to figure out where your child is at versus where you want them to be and they want themselves to be. And so I'm more than willing to have that conversation. But in general, once again, the main thoughts that I wanted to get out to y'all tonight would generally be the fact that they are different courses, but it is to the benefit of both groups of students that they are together. Ultimately, your child will walk away with the opportunity to get AP United States History credit and IB History of the Americas credit, and I can't give them a better opportunity here at Centennial. There's no other course that I know of that they are going to have the potential to get both. And Centennial will pay for their AP United States History exam. So they are getting the best of both worlds. And they get to have extra perspectives. So once again, skeltonapushistory.org is the website. And then skeltone@fultonschools.org. That's my email. So please let me know if you have any questions. And I wish I could have made it. Thanks.